Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it's Diego. Karina is in her English class. Karina goes to English class Mondays, Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays from 4 p.m. to 9 p.m. or 8:30, something like that. So she's in her class with her professor learning English, who speaks fluent Spanish, by the way. His Spanish is pretty darn good. But this is your K1 Visa channel, your green card channel. I'm here to help you get your K1 Visa, your green card, with as minimal stress and expense as possible. I made all these videos. I've made video after video after video how to do this process, how to put together a K1 visa application, how to put together a green card application, how to assemble documents for your visa interview at the embassy or consulate. I've done all these videos, how to make it through the checkpoint when you arrive in the United States, when you go through the Border Patrol checkpoint. I made a video about that. I mean, and I do these live streams, and Norman and Riddy is here with me. Hello, Riddy. Come on. Riddy is in the live stream. If I leave Riddy out there, she gets bored and she'll start crying like a little baby. But I've made all these videos for you guys. All you got to do is search over the channel. If you want to learn how to do something with your green card application, K1 visa, how to fill out the forms, etc., you can just go to the videos. Or if you would rather, then just hang out with me here on the live streams on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Saturdays. The next live stream today's what? Monday. The next live stream's Wednesday. So Karina will be in her English class. But so Karina will be doing live streams with us like once a week on Saturdays. But in July, it's the summer break. So she will recommence her English lessons in August. So in July, she will be totally free. So she'll be with me, unless she's tired from a busy day at work. Christopher Reese, good evening, Diego. What's going on, Christopher? Now, Christopher is a member of this channel, so we know that Christopher, you have my phone number, you have my email address. You can text me, call me, message me, email me, any questions that you may have. And our cat, really, is now looking out the window at our outside cat, Rambo. So if you see the blinds moving, it's not an earthquake, okay? It's not Bogota, Colombia. It's the cat just saying hi to Rambo. We got this outside cat, and he takes care of the mice that may be outside. And Karina feeds him every freaking day, which is good, right? And then we have Riddy, which is and Venny, our indoor cat. Cats, I should say, both female. So there's no babies due. Christopher Reese, just taking it easy. How about you? Well, I'm taking it easy. I drove Karina to her English class because when she applies for U.S. citizenship, you got to be able to speak English. So what's the solution? Put her in class, and she's in class learning. She's doing great, actually. Francois Livingston. Francois is a member of this channel. Good evening, Diego and Karina. Good evening, Francois and Hamid. And if you see a cat walking in front of you, it's Riddy, okay? Because Riddy is in the live stream. She wanted to come in and hang out, and there she goes. So if I didn't open the door, she'd be crying at the door to come in. Look, this is Riddy right here. She's a good girl. I tell you what. And Venny is getting used to her. Venny was here first. Our Russian gray cat, Venny, was here first. So Venny got a little irritated when we brought in Riddy because it was Venny's house first. But it is what it is. They're getting along pretty good now. Christopher Reese, question, Merslip, is this the receipt that shows you paid for the DS-160? It's the receipt that you paid for the consulate interview. The DS-160 is totally free. When you fill out the DS-160 or your beneficiary, you can fill out, the sponsor can fill out the DS-160 for the beneficiary, just as long as you identify yourself as a helper on the DS-160 and you submit it and you print the confirmation page, okay? But when you pay for the consular fee, you get a MERV receipt and you print it. But the DS-160, Christopher, is a totally free form. Just like the form G1145, where you ask immigration to text you when you submit your K1 visa application to them in Louisville, Texas, or green card application, okay? The G1145 is a free form. The DS-160 is a free form. Now, what does DS stand for? DS stands for Department of State, which is Marco Rubio's area of expertise. And Marco Rubio is doing a fantastic job as our Secretary of State. Seriously. I mean, he's doing a fantastic job. And we salute him. My family, Karina and I, we salute Marco for doing a good job on his responsibilities for all of the embassies around the world. Now, I had a person send me questions in the YouTube channel, this YouTube channel. This is your channel, by the way, so it's not my channel, your channel to help you. I know how to do this already. And he came on there and he said, look, what if I bring my Filipino girlfriend over on a tourist visa, and one day after her tourist visa expires, we get married, and we file for a green card? Well, number one, that's immigration fraud, because you don't come to the United States to get married on a tourist visa. You come to the United States to visit Disney World or Dollywood or SeaWorld on a tourist visa, or wherever it is you want to go, the Grand Canyon, whatever you want to do. You come to the United States on a tourist visa. And he's telling me, well, I'm going to bring my fiance from the Philippines over on a tourist visa. When a visa expires, the one day after it's expired, we'll get married, and we'll establish evidence of a relationship, and I'll submit her for her green card. I said, dude, you can't do that. That is not good. That is visa fraud, number one. Then he starts telling me I need to do better research. Let me tell you something. I'm the number one guy that knows how to do this green card K1 visa application on the planet. Okay? USCIS could probably hire me if they wanted to. I know how to do this like the back of my hand. And when I gave him my information, I told him, look, you don't establish a relationship in the United States from a tourist visa unless the person was here as a tourist and then goes back to the Philippines or whatever country. I'm not picking on the Philippines. And then you, Mr. Sponsor, go to the Philippines or whatever country, and then you build a relationship that way. But you don't bring somebody to the United States on a tourist visa, get married the day after it expires, and then file for a green card. Because guess what's going to happen? The green card's going to get denied. And the lady's going to then have to return to the United States. To the Philippines. But if he really loves this lady, he'll follow the process correctly. Okay, bring her as a tourist, which is fine. Then he can go to the Philippines as a tourist and visit her, and they can establish a relationship over a year, 18 months, and then file for the K1. But he didn't want to do that. And he's telling me I'm wrong. So I very respectfully said, have a nice day, and booted him off the channel. I'm not interested in helping people try to commit visa fraud, allegedly. Let's see. Francois, good evening from rainy New York. Christopher Rich. We need rain here, Francois. I mean, I'm using water from the hose to water all these new plants I put in the yard for Karina. And I tell you, water is not cheap in this part of the Pueblo. Now, when I lived in the southern, closer to the beach, water was cheap. But here, I don't know what they make their water tanks out of. I think they may have them lined in gold or something. So I got to be kind of careful on the water here. So what I'll do in September or October is I'm going to install a water pump. Then I can drill my own water for freaking free, except for the electricity to move it around on the sprinkler heads. Francois, bad thinking on this guy's part. Yeah, what? The guy was asking me, do you know any loopholes that you can get around this immigration process? I said, dude, there's no loopholes. Loopholes is mathematics for visa fraud. Okay? If you want to marry somebody from whatever country, Philippines, I don't care what the country is, England, Australia, France, Belgium, Colombia, Venezuela, do it the right way. Follow the process for the K1. Okay? And if you've been together for a year and you definitely know you want to marry each other, then you can also marry that person in his or her country and file for a spousal visa. But you don't bring somebody here on a freaking tourist visa, wait for it to expire, then get married, and then file for a green card and create the evidence as you go along. I had to kick him off. I explained to him you can't do that. And then he said I was wrong. He said, I got to do better research. I said, well, you got to do better research on what you're trying to do, dude, because you're going to get your fiance or green card denied right off the bat. And then she's going to be deported. Then it'd be impossible to bring her here. If you want to bring somebody to the United States and you love somebody, you're in a relationship with them, you've been together for a long time, just follow the freaking process. And then you won't have any issues. But he knows everything about green cards, and when he doesn't, I try to help him, and then he says, I don't know what I'm doing. I said, okay, well, you have a nice day. And I kicked him off the channel. His fiance and he will find out the hard way that you don't try to circumnavigate the green card or K1 visa process. Francois Livingston, I wish I had questions for you, Diego. Francois, right now you're in the first class seat in the 747, going around in circles, waiting for Hamid's green card. And he's going to get it. You may have to go to a green card interview. If you do, don't worry about it. Go to the green card interview. Bring a photo albums with you with all your pictures that you've been collecting over the years, that you've been together, etc. Bring all the paperwork they asked for in the letter for the green card interview, and then go and pass. And you'll pass. And then have him get his green card. And then you're going to start collecting evidence for his 10-year green card. Then you're going to prepare him for U.S. citizenship. And then after 3 years of the issue date, from the issue date of his 2-year green card, you can get him he could become a U.S. citizen, and then you're done with all this freaking paperwork, right? Let me see here. Christopher, Francois, we had rain yesterday, 91 and humid in North Carolina. But are they taxing the rain yet in North Carolina, Christopher? Have they started taxing how much rain you get? In California, you can't even set up rain collection barrels because the government won't let you. You can't even have a gasoline-powered leaf blower in California. You can't even have a barbecue in California if you use coals. California is like a third world communist state, okay, at the moment. But when you get a new governor in California who knows how to run the state properly, like a free market capitalist country we are, then things will turn around. So I haven't given up hope yet on California. Christopher Reese, there are no loopholes. Zero. There's no loopholes in this process. If you want a K1 visa, you follow the process to the letter. It's for your benefit of your beneficiary. If you love each other, you don't want to mess this up by trying to create loopholes. Because immigration is way smarter than we are as a group. Okay, they have technology in these service centers where they can identify Photoshop pictures, they can identify green card fraud, K1 visa fraud. They got technology. They can run your pictures through this scanner, and it will tell immigration whether the pictures have been photoshopped or not. Let's suppose you say you went to the Philippines for 2 weeks and you got all these pictures with your fiance in the Philippines. Well, I'm picking on the Philippines. In Australia. Let's say Australia. But you didn't. You've never been there. And you Photoshop the pictures into your scanner. Immigration will know. And then you get an immediate denial just because you Photoshop pictures. Don't try to backdoor and find legal loopholes in the system because you're not going to get anywhere other than a denial. Then that's a big problem, right? Just do it right, says Christopher. There's no loopholes. That's right. And Jay Baxter, good evening to the Ross family. We got our second biometrics coming up on Wednesday. Yeah, look, let's put MAGA pixie dust all over that second biometrics. In my opinion, immigration, okay, they just made a mistake to send you that second letter, but you got to go because if you don't show up, it may be in their computer where you have to go just to repeat it. Maybe they messed up something. It's like when Karina, my beautiful wife from Venezuela, when she went to her medical exam in Bogota, Colombia, okay, she went to her medical exam, and then we got a call the next day, oh, you got to come back and repeat the chest x-ray because the nurse but accidentally touched the thing she was standing by, and then it came out blurry. So Karina we had to go back to the freaking doctors in Bogota, which is like a 2-hour bus ride, which was okay. We did it. And they repeated the x-ray, okay? But if we had ignored that email and said, no, we already did the x-ray, then Karina wouldn't have got her K1 visa. So when immigration says to do something, even if you think it's in error, it's better to go and follow up with them and do what they ask you to do. If they ask you if they send you an RFE for this, and this, don't get confused. Don't get irritated. Just read what's in the letter and then respond to the RFE, which is a request for further evidence. Just respond to it. If you think it's wrong or they're in a mistake, why do I got to do this? I don't have to. Just do it. And then everything's good. All right. Let me see here. Jay Baxter says, hey, Christopher Reese, some people don't want help, Diego. I tried to explain to him that you can't do what he was trying to do. And he didn't like the answer I was giving him. He wanted me to turn around to him and say, oh, yeah, you can do that. Go ahead and knock yourself out. But you can't. So because he didn't like the answer I gave him, he said, I don't know what I'm talking about. I didn't do enough research. I didn't do enough research. Okay, I've helped what? 400 plus people get their green cards. 600 people plus get their K1 visas. Ladies and gentlemen, I know how to do this like the back of my hand. And I told him, I said, look, if you do what you're going to do, you're not going to get your green card for your beneficiary. She's going to be total loss. If she can even get a tourist visa to come to the United States from the Philippines. It's tough getting a tourist visa. If you're in the Philippines and you want to come to the United States for a vacation, you got to have at least $10,000 in the bank, in your Filipino bank. You got to own some property. You got to have a good job. Okay. You got to have ties to your country, wherever it is you live. And then you might be lucky to get a tourist visa. Trying to explain this to this guy was like the other guy from the other day who was telling me that he didn't need to repeat his medical exam for his green card interview or for his green card. But yes, you do. You got to repeat the medical exam. Well, USIS said this, and this said this, and Facebook said this, and Instagram said this. And I told him 4 freaking times in the live stream, repeat the medical exam. Then you won't get you won't be stuck in an RFE or in a holding pattern. And he wouldn't listen. Well, I don't have time to be jacking around with people that don't want to listen. It's okay. If you don't want to listen to what I tell you, it's okay with me. So I just blocked him from the channel too. I don't need his drama. I'm here to help you. I want to see you succeed. Okay. If you listen to me, you will. You're gonna succeed. You're gonna get as long as you qualify. Let me see. Christopher, some people just don't want to get help. They taxing the runoff. They're taxing the runoff. I just sent you a text, Diego. Okay. Well, Karina has the phone. She's in her English class. Karina is in her English class right now. She'll get done in about 3 hours, and then I'll go pick her up. And then I'll read the text because it's her phone. I gave her the phone. I don't know how to use an iPhone. I got no use for an iPhone other than helping you guys in your messages when you text me. That's about it. Let me see. Everly Anderson. Greetings to you, Diego and Karina. Everly. I'll give Everly a Mountain Dew salute. I haven't given Everly a Mountain Dew salute, so here you go. Mountain Dew salute for Everly. There we go. Everly, good to see you. Now, as you know, if you want my phone number and email address, you just got to sign up as a member. It's not that I want your money. I don't want your $9.99, but it's the only way I can keep track of who's got my phone number and my email address. And YouTube said that's the best way to do it. I said, okay. They said it's not a good idea for me to put my phone number and my email address out here publicly for the 152 people or 152 countries around the world that will be able to find it. And then they're going to try to hack into the channel. Right? So people will keep asking me, how can I contact you? Well, I'll give you my phone number and my email, but I got to know who you are. So sign up as a member, and then I know who you are. And then when you text me, hey, this is so-and-so, I just signed up as a member, then I can get to work helping you with your K1 visa or your green card application. I mean, I'll help you go do the whole thing. Line by line if you want. I've helped one person complete their entire green card application. Line by line, using screenshots to my cell phone. Well, Karina's cell phone. Let me see. Christopher Reese. Hello, Everly. Everly Anderson. Hope things are going well for you guys and our fellow YouTubers in this process. Yeah. YouTube's a good platform, okay, to learn things. I learned how to build a gate for the side of the house on YouTube. I learned how to install a fence around my property, around our property, Karina and I's property, on YouTube. I learned how to put. I'm gonna put in a deck. I'm gonna install a deck in probably next month. I learned how to do it on YouTube. There's a lot of things. I learned how to speak Spanish on YouTube, partly, and other ways, besides living in Colombia for 3 years. But there's so much you can do. And on this channel, you can learn how to process a green card and a K1 visa or a spousal visa, even a tourist visa. But if you are from the Philippines, and we love our friends in the Philippines, it's freaking hard to get a tourist visa unless you are close to being a millionaire. Christopher says, hello, Everly in the Philippines. It's super hard. Did you know the average salary in the Philippines is $200 a month? $200 a month. But what is the rent like over there? What's the economy like? My rent in Bogota, Colombia, with Karina and I was like $300 a month. It was for a penthouse apartment, top floor, 2-bedroom. It was $300 a month for rent. Our food bill was about $90 a month. The water bill was $5 a month. The gas bill for cooking was for $8 a month. The electric bill was about $10 a month. I think the total living expenses for Karina and I in Bogota, Colombia was about $450, $500 a month. Because I didn't have a car here in Colombia, so we used the bus. So a lot of our money went on buying those passes for the Transmillennium. But it was inexpensive in Colombia. It's inexpensive in the Philippines, but that's still not very high. $200 a month. Where's the incentive to work on $200 a month? Christopher, I will email it to you then. Okay, yeah, send me the email, and then when I get off this live stream, I'll check it out. Because I can look at emails right now, after the live stream. But Karina has the cell phone. I was thinking, do I buy Karina a cell phone? And I'm thinking, no, why? I'll give her my cell phone. I never use it. The only time I used my iPhone was in Colombia, was here in the United States when I was contacting Karina in WhatsApp, whatever the heck it's called. And then when I started this channel for you guys, now I've got memberships, members, and you need to be able to contact me and email me. So you can email me, reach me on the phone, text me, whatever. So I only use the cell phone for that. But I hardly use an iPhone. I never needed an iPhone when I was a kid growing up. I used to come home when the lights came on in the street and when I was dirty. I didn't need an iPhone to guide me home. I knew exactly where I was. I could get from my house where I lived 20 miles across town without a freaking GPS on an iPhone. Okay? And the government tracks iPhones. They know if you have your GPS on your iPhone and you go to Walmart, then Publix, and then here, you can download your route where you went, and so can the government. So I got no reason to have an iPhone other than Karina likes to use it to contact her family in Colombia and Brazil. Her other brother lives in Brazil. Let's see. Imran. Hey, Imran. Hussein, what's going on? Hey, Diego, we have been waiting almost 17 months. How long for a CR1? It's an average wait time for you're in a conditional residency spousal visa 1. It's an 18 to 19 month wait time for CR1 visa. It's much quicker to do a K1 visa. A K1 visa turnaround time from NOA1 to NOA2 to MVC to the consular interview is about 12 months. And then you can bring your beneficiary to the United States, get married within 90 days, and then wait 6 to 9 months for the green card. Right? But if you're on a spousal visa, it's taking 18 months, 19 months, 20 months, and your wife has to wait in her country, and you have to wait in the United States. But it's cheaper. A CR1, IR1, and IR1 is an immediate relative green card. The CR1 is a conditional green card. It's a lot cheaper to go through the spousal visa, but it takes forever. It takes forever. But a K1 is like easy peasy. Let me see. Christopher Reese, YouTube teaches you a lot. I've learned a lot on YouTube. A lot. I don't watch videos. I don't watch freaking movies. You know, although my brother Greg, he's got a fantastic movie channel, a YouTube channel where he evaluates movies like Mission Impossible, etc. And I set up the channel for him because he didn't know how to set up a YouTube channel, so I set it up for him. But then he got a hang of it real quick. Okay, and he got, let me see, he got 600 subscribers in 3 days last week. He went from I think it was like, he went from 300 subscribers to over 1,000 subscribers in 3 or 4 days because his videos are good. I mean, really, they are. They're very good. This I never ask people to subscribe to this channel because there's no point. Okay, either you like the stuff or you don't. If you subscribe, you can ask me questions here. If you don't subscribe, you can listen along. It's all fine with me. Everly, since then, we are now in the forever wait for approval for either of the two. You'll get it. You qualify, Everly. You qualify for the benefit. We got to do some mega pixie dust for Everly and her family. This is the K1 Visa Green Card Super Lucky 2025 Mega Pixie Dust. 2024 was blue pixie dust. 2025 is mega red pixie dust. Let me see. Imran, you got a few more months to go, okay? You got a few more months to go. Everly Anderson, I submitted my middle child son's work, your stepchild, work permit and permanent residency card to USCIS in January of 2025, and they accepted the application. Okay, so you didn't get any errors. There you go. His biometrics was on March 7th, so you're good. But it's taken about 9 months to get all this done, wrapped up. You're going to get a green card interview for a 2-year green card. No, you said you made no errors. No, you're good. Now you just got to wait for your turn. You're good, Everly. Relax. God's Power Thomas. I like that name, God's Power. Hello, Mr. Diego. Currently, my case reads submitted on November 8th, 2024. Okay. After I did biometrics on March 4th, 2025. That was only 3 months ago. My USCIS status reads, as of March 4th, we are actively reviewing your I-485. Response received on May 8th. We will review the evidence. I'm yet to receive work permit. Please advise. You're in a hurry up and wait game. If you did the biometrics, if they accepted your application, if you didn't get an RFE, you're good to go. My advice now is you just gotta wait. Waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting. That's it. But we're going to put mega pixie dust all over your case. Okay, so we'll get it speeded up a little bit. Let me see. Good job, God's Power Thomas. Christopher Reese, that is awesome. Wow, says Christopher. Everly Anderson. Seems really long being that me, the K1, now married to my husband, okay, and a U.S. permanent resident green card holder, along with his other 2 brothers who came first with me, also K2. It's just a process, okay? It's a process. Just got to wait it out. It's not a cookie cutter. It's not green card, green card, green card, K1 visa, K2. It doesn't work that way. Immigration, okay, don't work in a specific order of processing. But they do work faster if you submit your green card within 90 days. So if you come to the United States, you get married within 90 days. In about 60 days after you get married, you put together an outstanding green card application. Immigration is going to respond to your due diligence. But don't forget, you only have up to 6 months to file for the green card. Don't be dilly-dallying around. You got to get it submitted to immigration, okay, your green card application, within at least 6 months. Let me see. So hang in there, Everly. Hang out with us. Karina will be here with us on Saturday. In July, she'll be with us on all the live streams because she doesn't have any class. It's the summer break. But in August, she goes back for I guess that's the fall break, fall semester. Who knows? I can't remember. It's been so long since I've been in university, years and years ago. I don't even remember that far back. Let me see. Imran got a letter approved in December of 2024. Okay. So you're still waiting. Keep waiting. Hang in there. Put your feet up. Drink a Mountain Dew. Mountain Dew salute to Imran for his patience. Because you got to be patient during this process. I went to Bogota to live with Karina while we finished up her K1 visa. She went to her K1 visa interview in Bogota, Colombia, November 16, 2023. We were all packed ready to go, thinking we'd get her K1 visa in about 5 or 6 days after she went to her interview, because the K1 visa package was 100% exemplary. She got approved after about 12 questions from the embassy official. And then they told her, we need an Interpol police certificate because you've been living in Colombia for 6 years. Well, there's nowhere on the website for the U.S. Embassy in Bogota that says you got to have an Interpol police certificate. Karina's lucky I wasn't there at the interview because I was sick in bed at home in Bogota with altitude sickness and the flu combined. I would have been pretty angry because the K1 visa application was 100% perfect. And they said, well, we got to have an Interpol police certificate. So Karina went to Interpol in Bogota. She filed for the Interpol police certificate, gave Interpol her cedula in Colombia, her cedula from Venezuela. And it took 4 weeks to get her Interpol police certificate emailed to her. She then forwarded it to me. And then I sent it to the embassy in Bogota. And then the next day we went and picked up her K1 visa in Bogota. They processed it in 24 hours. They were just waiting on that freaking email from the Interpol to make sure she wasn't a communist. Why was she in Colombia for 6 years? You know, they did a thorough investigation now, especially now. Right now, if you are an applicant from Colombia, the U.S. Embassy has a new process in place where an immigration officer will go to your house in Bogota or Medellin or Cartagena, wherever the heck it is you live in Colombia. They will come to your house, knock on your door, and say, hey, does so-and-so live here? Are you going through a K1 visa application? Do you know about your interview coming up in 2 weeks? That's the embassy in Bogota. They are sending out consular officers to your house. So if you get somebody knocking on your door, you're watching me in Colombia right now, and an immigration officer's knocking on your door, hey, I want to speak to so-and-so. Don't panic. It's all good. They're just verifying your residence. That's all. Everly Anderson, no errors. Imran, around August or September. I would say September or October it's a CR1, so it's a conditional residency spousal visa, not an IR1. An IR1 would be a little quicker. CR1, I would say September, October. Okay, but hang in there. They didn't forget about you, but you got to maintain contact with the embassy. Don't be blown off the embassy. Don't be forgetting about. Send them an email. Send an NVC inquiry. Hey, I'm just checking on my status. Send an email to the embassy. I'm just checking on my status. Because if you don't maintain contact with the embassy or the NVC, they could close your case as an abandoned visa application or green card, okay? Christopher Reese, shake that pixie dust. Medical in 16 days, biometrics in 19 days, interview in 21 days. Well, we're going to do the mega pixie dust all over right there for Christopher Reese and his beautiful family. Okay. J-Rod, what do you think? J-Rod. So I got a second YouTube channel called the J-Rod Files. I've only made 2 videos. I'm just getting used to this teleprompter and this new camera. But even J-Rod, that's my buddy right there, he supports Christopher. Can you imagine if an alien from another planetary system was trying to get a green card to come live in the United States? I wonder how that would work out. I wonder what the process would be. Oh, we got to do biometrics on this alien from Zeta Reticuli. Anyway, Christopher, we all know about that hurry up and wait game, don't we, Diego? Yeah, it took me 23 months. It took 23 months to get Karina's K1 visa in her passport. That's a long freaking time. But now it's not that long. It's 12 months, 11 months, depending on the embassy. Okay? Everly, thanks for your advice. You're welcome, Everly. My eldest is now in the United States military and is now a U.S. citizen. Well, Mountain Dew salute. Very good. The military did the process for him. They did it for free for him. If you join the U.S. military as a green card holder, let's suppose you bring over a K2, 17, 18, 19 years old, 20 years old, that's the max. And that K2 child joins the U.S. military. The U.S. military will process U.S. citizenship for that person for free. And a pretty quick turnaround time too. So you bypass a lot of all this immigration junk. The military will do it for you. They'll process all the paperwork and everything. Just food for thought. Good job, Everly. Christopher Reese, patience is a must in this process or you will go insane. Yeah. Remember, I was waiting and waiting and waiting. I was in the United States. I was waiting. I was here 11 months waiting for the email from the U.S. Embassy in Bogota to tell me they had accepted Karina. They received her K-1 visa application in ready status. So then I emailed them after I've been here by myself almost a year. And they said, hang on now, Diego, you got to wait a couple more weeks. Give us time. I said, okay, I'm a patient person. When I was in the United States Navy, when I deployed to go out to sea for wherever I did, you got to be patient because there's nowhere to go when you're on a ship in the middle of the North Atlantic or the Eastern Mediterranean Sea. There's nowhere to go but the ship. So you learn patience. You can't leave the ship. You can't go to Subway. You can't go to Walmart. There's no Walmart out in the middle of the Eastern Mediterranean, right? So I learned maximum patience. So when I processed Karina's K-1 visa application, I already got my mind in control of this patience thing, okay? Everly, I appreciate you. We're here for you, Everly. Karina is in her English class right now down the street. It's about 5 miles down the road. I took her there, and I'll go pick her up about 8:30. Christopher Reese, Everly, Diego got you, so thankful for him and his knowledge. Well, I want to help you. I want to see you guys get your green cards approved and your K-1 visas approved. And I want to help. And I also want to flash out those people who are trying to commit immigration fraud, like that one person. In my opinion, he was trying to commit immigration fraud, and he's wanting me to help him and how to get around stuff. I don't get around anything in immigration. You either do it the right way or I'll block you off the channel. There's no loopholes. There's no secret squirrels. Okay, it's follow my advice in the videos or on the live streams, and you'll get your green card as long as you qualify for the benefit. This guy's going to totally mess up his fiance's life in the Philippines. They're probably in a real relationship, and he's trying to skirt the system to make it go by quicker. But you can't do that. So what's going to happen is, if he brings her here on a tourist visa, which is probably doubtful, I doubt it very much that she will get a tourist visa to come here. But let's suppose he brings her here on a tourist visa. The day it expires, they get married, and then he starts collecting evidence for a 2-year green card. Immigration's going to receive the paperwork. They're going to look and see that she came in on a tourist visa. They're going to look and see they got married the day after it terminated. And the green card's going to be denied right off the bat, and she's going to be told to leave the United States. I mean, seriously, that's what's going to happen. And he didn't want to listen to me. He wanted me to give him the secrets of how to get through the loopholes. Well, even if I knew the secrets of the loopholes, I wouldn't tell anybody. But there aren't any. There's zero. Follow the process put in place, and you'll get it as long as you qualify. You got to make enough money. Right? The American citizen, you got to make enough money. You got to be a U.S. citizen. A green card holder, a 10-year green card holder cannot apply for a K-1 visa. A 10-year green card holder doesn't qualify for a K-1 visa. Only U.S. citizens can apply for K-1 visas. If you are a green card holder, let's suppose you got a 10-year green card, and you met and fell in love with somebody in Bulgaria, let's say. Okay, well, you're going to have to get off your backside, get on a plane, fly to Bulgaria, get married, come back to the United States and file for a spousal visa, Form I-130, with all your evidence. Okay, that's how you do it if you are not a U.S. citizen. You can only apply for a spousal visa. Okay, if you are a U.S. citizen, that's one of the qualifications to be able to qualify for a K-1 visa application. You send your package to Louisville, Texas. They redirect it to the service center, Nebraska, California, Texas, wherever. And then it goes to the National Visa Center in New Hampshire. Then they send it to the embassy or the consulate. And then you get notified. And then you go to the visa interview after you scheduled the biometrics and paid the consulate fee and had the medical exam. You want to do your medical exam for a K-1 visa application 2 weeks before your K-1 visa interview. You want to get it done about 2 weeks before. If you live in Jamaica, the doctor in Jamaica, authorized by the State Department, is not as fast as I would like him or her to be in processing medical exams. So if you live in Jamaica, make sure you get your medical exam about 3 weeks or 4 weeks before your visa interview. Because those folks in Jamaica are not forwarding the medical exams to the embassy very fast. So people are going into their visa interviews, passing the visa interviews, but they're being put in a 221G hold because the embassy says in Kingston, Jamaica, oh, we don't have your medical exam. See what I'm saying? But if you listen to me, if you follow my advice, I'll get you through this process. I pretty much know how 90% of all these embassies and consulates work globally. I know how they work. Okay, Ghana. Okay, now, if you are from a country like Cuba, Venezuela, Haiti, Nigeria, Burma, they keep calling Burma some other name. I can't remember what they call it. What do they say? Burma is some other name. It's not. It's Burma. Okay. Those countries are on President Trump's block list for asylum seekers, tourist visas, etc. But they're not going to block you if you're in the middle of a K-1 visa application or a spousal visa or if you have a K-1 visa or a spousal visa in process and your beneficiary is from Venezuela, it's all good. Trump didn't stop that process. President Trump's wife is from Slovakia. She's a U.S. citizen now, but she came in on a work visa, green card. She's a green card holder. So Trump's not trying to block people from getting their freaking green cards. As long as you're in a real relationship, you love each other, and everything's good. Okay, there's no fraud. Let me see. Christopher Reese, Everly, Diego got you. Yeah, I got your backs, guys. I'm protecting you. And and when somebody comes on the channel, and the reason I only let subscribers ask me questions is because that blocks out all the idiots that want to come on here and disrupt the channel, right? If you are a subscriber to the channel, then you can ask me questions all day long on the live stream, and I know who you are. But if I open this up to anybody, the questions, I always get these idiots that come on here and disrupt the live stream. They got nothing else better to do. So I don't ask people to subscribe, but if you are a subscriber, you can ask me questions in the live stream. And the only reason I do that is so it blocks all the idiots from coming on here and disrupting everybody's happy, joyous day. It's stressful enough trying to go through this process without having idiots on the channel trying to disrupt everybody's mindset. You got to be staying calm. You got to be staying patient. Everly, being that my second son's acceptance was in January 10th, 2025, okay, and the biometrics was March 7th, 2025. What is the general time for a work permit? It's about a work permit application is taking like 4 to 6 weeks, but every case is different. Okay, 4 to 6 weeks. Immigration want you to start work. You got your social security number, then you've got your work permit. Immigration want you to start work because then you start paying FICA tax and paying into the system. People will start paying into the system, which generates revenue for the U.S. Treasury Department. So immigration is not trying to stop you from getting a job. But the process isn't a cookie cutter. Okay? The work permit will be sent. Boom. It just sucks. You got to wait. Karina got a work permit, I think, in like 3 weeks. She got a green card in 3 months and 2 weeks, something like that. Okay, but she submitted a green card application that was so strong, the evidence was overwhelming. Okay, so when we apply for her 10-year green card in March of 2026, which is actually right around the corner, we will once again overwhelm immigration with evidence. There's people out there who are lazy, okay, and they say, okay, I'm just going to put together the bare minimum. I married this lady from wherever, and you file for the 2-year green card and you file the bare minimum. 2 pictures, the marriage certificate, the I-94, the biographic page of the passport, sponsor, and beneficiary, the K-1 visa copy in color, no bank statements, no evidence of living together, just the bare bones. These people are getting their green card applications denied. When you submit for a 2-year green card application, you can't be lazy. You got to put together overwhelming evidence of your relationship. Karina applied for her 2-year green card. We included pictures way back from 2021, 2022, 2023, 2024. We had 4 years worth of pictures spread out over different time frames. You got to prove the relationship. Everly, being that my second son's acceptance was January 10th. You just got to hang in there, Everly. It's not denied. You just got to wait. It's like you're on the. It's like when I went on vacation to England in 1996. I was in London. And I said, well, let's jump on a train. I didn't know what I was doing. I had no clue what I was doing. And then a train. The porter said, well, this train is going to Portsmouth. I said, okay. So I went to buy a ticket for that train number to go to Portsmouth. So I'm waiting, and the train never showed up. I'm like, dude, where's the freaking train? Well, that's the schedule for tomorrow. I'm like, why didn't you tell me that? So I had bought a ticket for a train that was leaving from London to Portsmouth tomorrow on vacation in the rain. You got to know the process. Nothing's perfect, okay? So I went back to the counter, and the guy changed it to a ticket for today, and then I got the next train. It was like a 2-hour train ride. And I explored southern England. Okay, I rode on buses, and I didn't rent a car because they drive on the wrong side of the freaking road. I would probably end up getting in an accident. So I just used buses and coaches and trains. Let me see. Myanmar, Jay Baxter, Myanmar, as Burma. Well, what happened in Burma was this communist group of this communist military junta came in there, took over the country, overran the palace, took over the civilian government, and renamed the country Myanmar. But the U.S. government, the United States, does not recognize that name as the name of that country. The United States government recognizes Burma as Burma because they don't recognize that communist dictatorship. See what I'm saying? Christopher Reese, England was went there a year ago. Wow, that's great. What did you do? I went there on vacation for a month. It rained every day. But I got to eat fish and chips, and it was great. I had Jaffa cakes and lemon curd, and I loved it. I had a great time. I went all over London, went all the way down the south, all across southern England, went to Brighton. I went to Plymouth, where the Mayflower left to go to, to bring the pilgrims to the United States. So I've been to both places. I had a great time, other than the weather, which sucked. I went to Madame Tussauds in London. That was pretty neat. The planetarium. Now, I took Karina to the planetarium in Bogota, Colombia. If you're in Bogota, Colombia in the future, go to the planetarium. It's an amazing experience. You got to check it out. England was great. No car here either. No, I'm not. I didn't drive in Colombia, in Bogota. No way I'm driving in Bogota. There's no freaking way. And I was not going to drive in England because I'm sure they know how to drive on the wrong side of the road, but I don't. I don't know how to drive on the other side of the road. And the steering wheel was on the wrong side of the car. And everything was in reverse. The gear shift, I'm like, I know how to drive a stick shift. Most of the cars in England do a stick shift. In 1996, I can drive a stick shift. It wasn't a problem. But everything was on the wrong side of the car. So I said, okay, let's find buses. So I just toured England, southern England, on coaches. Mr. Somebody, hey Diego, how is life? Life is excellent. I got a second YouTube channel started, the J-Rod Files. I've made 2 videos using this teleprompter right here. I don't know if you want to see it. I got this teleprompter. I don't know if it's going to, right here, you can see that. And there's a camera in there, okay? So I can make some, I'm just practicing with it to learn how to use it. I haven't get it figured out yet, but I got it mostly figured out. And then I got to use a microphone for the teleprompter. I can't just talk into the camera because it's a different kind of camera. It's not like this where I can talk into this camera and you can hear what I'm saying without, it has audio and video. This has to be connected with a microphone and all kinds of stuff. And I upgraded the computer network to 5G. So I've done quite a bit. Yeah, look at this right here. Look, this is a teleprompter. I've unplugged it right here. Right here. You talk into the camera, and all the words, they kind of show up on the teleprompter. So I can look at this thing like this, and I can read off script and put together a video. People think I'm talking to them when I'm talking to a teleprompter, but it's all good. And I've made 2 videos on this channel already. Where is it? Right here. The J-Rod Files. The videos, the channel is going to be about aliens and extraterrestrials, etc. I'll take Karina to New Mexico and back to Nevada. I'll take her to Area 51, but as soon as she becomes a citizen. I'm not taking her to Area 51 while she's on a 2-year conditional green card. Because when you go to Area 51, the back gate, you got a front gate and a back gate, and then there's another gate. When you get close, they take pictures of you, okay? They do biometrics on your face, and then they run you through their database, and they find out who you are. They already know who you are from your license plate, because they scanned that probably at the Little Alien, the restaurant in Rachel, Nevada, where it's close to Area 51. They said it's a weather station, but that's seriously, they want to know. If I'm in the U.S. military, and I'm building secret stuff, I want to know who's outside my front door, right? So I don't blame the U.S. government for the secrecy they have at Area 51, and I really support what they do. I have not been there. I was so close to Area 51 in March, but I decided to take Karina to Pahrump, Nevada instead, because I didn't want to get her photographed at Area 51 while she's in a 2-year green card. That's not a good idea. You're going to say, why is a Venezuelan on a 2-year green card at the back gate of Area 51? That's a red flag for a 10-year green card, most definitely. And I could explain all day and all night that I have a YouTube channel called the J-Rod Files, and it would be irrelevant. Immigration would have a bad day over that. So I'm not going to take Karina there. But I am going to take her to New Mexico next summer, to where the UFO crashed in Corona, New Mexico. Now, you got this, everything on the TV is Roswell. The UFO crashed in Roswell. It didn't crash in freaking Roswell. It crashed in Corona. So I'm going to make videos about that and set the record straight. Okay, let's see, questions. Christopher Reese, did you do the Harry Potter tour? No, I've never done the Harry Potter tour. Never did that. God's Power Thomas, Mr. Diego, you said 4 to 6 weeks for a work permit. Right. You said you've been submitted since December 13th. You did the biometrics on March 3rd. No work permit. Well, how soon can you submit a form for removal of conditions on a green card? Okay, so let me answer the first question. You're waiting on your work permit. You'll get it. Just give it time. You lift the conditions off of your 2-year green card 90 days before it expires. You can go into USCIS, or you can go into this channel. If you go into this channel and type in calculator for lifting conditions, I made a video on how you can calculate when to submit your application for your 10-year green card. Or you can go into uscis.gov/calculator or uscis.gov/lift conditions. and then you can punch in the expiration date of your green card in that computer, and it will come back and tell you when you need at the least amount of time that you have to file to lift the conditions of the green card for the 2 year. It's $750 as of today, June 9th, 2025. And you file Form I-751 as a couple. So you got your 2 year green card. It's 90 days before it expires. You've got 80 days before it expires, let's say. You've put together a fantastic 10 year green card application. You as a couple will fill out USIS Form 751. You're going to write a check to the U.S. Department of Homeland Security for $750 as of June 9th, 2025. That could change. Don't use your freaking credit card to pay for your green card or for your K-1 visa. Don't do that. You're going to get issues if you do. I try to explain to people, there was one person I said, don't use your credit card to apply for your K-1 visa. And that person went ahead and used his credit card, and immigration sent him a letter saying, we can't process your application because your bank has blocked the transaction. 9 times out of 10, that's what's going to happen. So don't do that. Just write a freaking check or a cashier's check. Okay? That's what I recommend. So yeah, you apply to lift the conditions off of your 2 year green card 90 days before it expires. And USCIS has created a calculator that you can use where you can punch in the expiration date of your 2 year green card, and it will come back with a date and say, this is the earliest you can apply for your 10 year green card. So there's no excuse why you should mess it up, right? Let's see. Mr. Somebody, did that explain was that a good answer for you? God's Power Thomas, response received on May 8th. We will review the evidence. Okay. So you're in the hurry up and wait mode like everybody. You're good. Christopher Reese, wow, that thing looks cool. Something from space. Yeah, I've got to learn how to use it. I've got it figured out. The teleprompter is a good teleprompter, and I had to buy a special camera. You can use a DSLR like this right here. I mean, you can use a camera like this. This is a Canon M50. You can use a camera like this in that teleprompter. But I wasn't going to be joking around, connecting cameras. So I bought a camera specially designed for this teleprompter. So you slide it in the back and you connect it. So now the teleprompter and the camera are all one unit. So it's easy for me to make a video, right? On a live stream, my information's up here. I'm data dumping information from my brain to you guys over all these years of experience, 11 plus years of experience doing this. But this is a new channel, and I have to learn how to use the technology. If you got to learn every day you got to learn something new. Every day, learn something new. Christopher, have you been there to Area 51? No. I want to go to Area 51. I'm going to go there one day. I'm going to take Karina to Roswell, New Mexico, to the UFO Museum, and I'm going to take her to where the UFO really crashed, which was in Corona. I already took her to Kingman, Arizona, where the UFO crashed there in Kingman, Arizona. And the UFO that crashed in Kingman, Arizona, that's where J-Rod came from. That's where they found the alien. He was the sole survivor. And they took him to Los Alamos in New Mexico and kept him alive for about 4 or 5 years and learned a bunch of stuff, technology and things, which is dangerous in the hands of idiots. Technology that these extraterrestrials have is dangerous in the hands of idiots. That's why it's so secretive. Look how quickly the Russians got the plans to the H-bomb, right? We dropped the bomb. We dropped the H-bomb on Japan, Nagasaki, right? We dropped the H-bomb on Hiroshima. And within 6 months, the Russians, the Soviets, had the plans to how to build a freaking bomb. So now you can see why the technology that was garnered from the aliens that crashed their spaceships, in my opinion, that's why it's so secretive at Area 51. But Area 51 isn't the place where they reverse engineer alien technology. It's done in another place south of there in S4. Anyway, let's see. Mr. Somebody, what are the proofs of alien existence? It's in S4. I don't have any proof of alien existence, but I'm sure the US government does. But they won't reveal it because they want to protect the technology. The US government isn't so much concerned about aliens, okay? Although they could be because of the instability it could create for the religious factors in the world, right? It could disrupt the churches and the mosques and the synagogues. And I got Riddy the cat walking in front of me right here. Riddy, he just took a nap. She's a she. She was sleeping down there with me, and now she's walking around. There's no evidence that I have that aliens exist. But if there was evidence, it's under closely guarded wraps from the U.S. government. You know, if a foreign country gets alien technology, I don't care what country it is, United States, Russia, the Russian Federation, India, Pakistan, whatever the country, if they get alien technology, they're gonna protect it, and they're not gonna tell anybody that they have it, because whoever controls that pretty much could you know, when you put idiots in charge of technology like that, there's big problems in the world. Christopher Reese, interesting. I need to do some homework on all this, Diego, after we get through this K1. Yeah, Christopher, focus on your K1. This channel is K1s, spousals, green card visas. It's not aliens, okay? But if you're interested in that stuff, there's the channel right there. Christopher, catnip, Diego, have her up a couple of hours, then she will crash. So what's catnip? Is that kind of like NyQuil? You're trying to get somebody to calm the hell up or down? Have some NyQuil. Then you relax a little bit. So catnip is like NyQuil for cats, right? Okay, guys, I've been talking for just over an hour. I hope you learned some new things today. I hope you learned some new things today. I want you to learn how to do this process for as inexpensively as you can. You don't need an immigration attorney to file a K1 visa application. You don't need an immigration attorney to file a green card application. You can do this by yourself if you are not lazy and if you can follow directions. If you can read and write and add and subtract, you can do this. And then the $5,000 or the $6,000 the immigration attorney is requesting, you can use it for your honeymoon, for your wedding, right? And Riddy is trying to look out the window at Rambo, who's our outside cat. T, will the K1 visa work on countries that are currently banned on the US list? Yes. President Trump didn't ban K1 visas, spousal visas, IR1s, CR1s, okay? He just told people from those countries, if you want to come here on vacation, it's not going to happen. If you want to come here as an asylum seeker from these countries, it's not going to happen. You can forget about it. But if you met somebody like from Venezuela, Haiti, you're in the middle of a K1 visa application, you may get a secondary screening when you arrive at the airport in the United States. Let's suppose you come into Miami and you're from Haiti, you've got a K1 visa in your passport, you might get pulled aside for secondary screening just to double check. They're going to look through your phone, make sure there's nothing in there that's bad, ask you some more extra questions, more questions than a normal K1 visa applicant would get. But that's about it. Okay? If you are, coming to this country in a real relationship with an American citizen, the American citizen and you are both love each other, you want to build a life together, and you've got a relationship together a year plus, you got proof of a couple of trips to see each other, you got all this evidence. Like I lived with Karina in Bogota for 6 weeks, 5 months, 11 months, and 3 months. I maxed out all my tourist visas, and I was getting close to my Colombian tourist visa expiring when we finally got her K1 visa in her passport, her Venezuelan passport. But if you're in one of those countries that's on the ban list, it's really the cat just ran in front of the camera. What that means is if you're an asylum seeker, basically, or a tourist, it ain't gonna happen. Okay, guys, any more questions? I'm here to help you. If not, I'll be back. What's today? I don't even. Today's Monday. I'll be back on Wednesday. Karina's still in class. If you want to become a member of this channel, you're welcome to sign up, and we'll be glad to help you. I had I got eight new people sign up for the membership, and 7 people canceled. So I'm up 1. So if you canceled, you don't need my help anymore. That's perfectly fine. I'm good. Okay, I'm not offended. But if you want to be a member of the channel, you get my phone number, email, and you can text me, call me anytime you want. Just like if you sign up as a member, just tell when you get my email address or my phone number, just text me and say, "Hey Diego, this is so and so from the channel. I need your help with whatever." Okay. But if you just text me or send me an attachment in the phone or the email, and I don't know who you are or your handle, the name of your handle, I'm just going to delete the text or the email because I'm not going to open up a bogus attachment. And you shouldn't either. When you're on your computers at home, okay, just be careful what you click on, what links you click on. Protect your computer, all right? Got to protect your computer. It's easy to hack a computer. There's a lot of bad people out there that would just love to hack your computer. There's a lot of bad people out there that would love to get on your cell phone and find your bank app and get into your bank. All right? So just be careful. I've got minimal applications on the cell phone. Karina's iPhone has minimal applications. It's got the bank, the YouTube Studio, and the weather. That's about it. There's about 4 or 5 apps. Because the more applications you put on your cell phone, the more doors you are opening up to people to get into your cell phone. If you're using Wi-Fi, okay, and you go to, I don't know, you go to McDonald's and you click on their Wi-Fi, you open up, you're eating your Big Mac on the Wi-Fi at McDonald's. Don't go into your bank. Don't click, oh, I wonder how much money I got in my account. Don't do that. Don't do that. That's technical advice from the old retired Navy guy. And also, Diego, your green card K1 visa helper. I'll see you guys on Wednesday, 6 p.m. Central Time. You're welcome to. You have a great night, everybody. Okay? Hang in there, guys. You got to be patient, okay, during the process.